YouTube, we have some very special information to talk about today. And the main focus today is going to be about Harbor Freights and Streamlight. Of course, I'm sure you heard of all the information online, allegedly, which I don't think it's allegedly no more. Matter of fact, I know it's the truth because I'm pulling up some information online for you guys through Google. But just hearing online about the lawsuits that were flying around, certain type of things happening between those two, and come to find out it actually was true. There was some trademark patent and infringements going on, and I'm gonna show you the lights, which are the main focus today. So starting out right here, this is the TLR-1HL. So that's it right there. That's the light, very bright light. It's 1,000 lumens with that light. As you can see, I've been running this on my Smith & Wesson for quite some time. Excellent light. However, the price point is a lot higher. You have a lot of people online that don't want to pay for that price point, especially when Harbor Freights came out with their Braun edition, their Braun model lights, which look almost like this, but there are a lot of differences. All right, so there you have it. This is the Streamlight right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you the light that was kind of in trouble when it came out at that time. And luckily I was able to purchase it, so that's it. And I'm telling you, it looks so damn clean. I love that light. Now watch this. You see how bright that light is itself. Crazy bright, okay? And we're also gonna go over the brightness levels. I'm gonna show you at nighttime the brightness levels and also the strobe mode between the two. But this is the light. This is the light that was in all the heat right here. And the reason being is it was because of this silver ring around the end of the flashlight right there. And basically that was the issue, that was the problem. However, once again, to me, there's a lot of differences between the two lights. It kind of makes me wonder, was Streamlight upset because of their market share? Because a lot of people were buying this Braun light. Let me tell you something, you couldn't find this light in stock at Harbor Freights at one point. It would get in stock and then next thing you know, it was gone. I have a manager that I work with at a Harbor Freights and he's an amazing guy. And I tried to get these lights over and over again and could never get them. So I had to travel all the way to Columbia just to pick up one of these lights. So now let me give you some information about what's going on online. So this is what I found online. This is not something that I made up, okay? Right here, and I didn't want to freestyle this because I want to give definitive information. It says Streamlight filed a lawsuit against Harbor Freight Tools USA on June 26, 2025, alleging trademark and patent infringement for allegedly copying, watch this, copying Streamlight's distinctive ring mark designed for its weapon-mounted lights. The lawsuit filed in Delaware District Court claims Harbor Freight's Braun, and that's the name of the flashlight, the Braun, tactical and other web lights infringe on Streamlight's patents and trademarks for its TLR series of lights. Now, are you serious? Because of a ring, y'all gotta let me know in the comment section below what y'all think. I think it's crazy. But when it comes to legality and law and stuff like that, sometimes it can be different. But because of a ring, this constitutes that basically it's, you know, infringing. Y'all let me know. Let me know what you think. I think it's about competition. But anyway, so let's move right along here. So since, oh, well, let me continue reading right here. That was that part of it. And this is through Google once again. And just a little bit of information right here. It says plaintiff, Streamlight Inc. It says defendant, Harbor Freights Tools USA Inc. The date filed was June 26, 2025. The court was Delaware District Court. And also it says case Streamlight Inc. versus Harbor Freight Tools USA, two big juggernauts. And it says cause of action, trademark and patent infringement. Can you be serious? All right, so now let me show you the light that Harbor Freights came out with afterwards. So what I've noticed when I was traveling back and forth, I noticed that they didn't have any lights in stock. They didn't replenish any of their inventory for quite some time. And so I would ask people inside the Harbor Freight store about what was going on. But of course, I'm sure they were sworn to secrecy. They couldn't talk about certain things when it came to that, and that's okay. So this is the new light, the Braun Harbor Freight's 1000 Lumen light. So this is the new one, and as you can see on here, it does not have a ring on the light. And I'm going to take this out in a few minutes. We're going to look up under a microscope on a tabletop and compare everything and look at subtle differences. But that's what you're getting now. So, and I like it because I like the all black. I don't like all those white fonts and stuff like that. So this is fine for me, but the ring is gone. And of course, on the older one, we still have that old trusty ring. So now let's go ahead real quick, do a tabletop, look at some of the differences and see what this thing is all about. All right, so let's take a look at these amazing lights, see what the differentiation between the two are, because I found a lot of differences. It's just not that silver ring. It's a lot of other differences with these lights right here, but I just guess, you know, whoever was governing that lawsuit kind of just didn't pay attention to that part, or it didn't matter that much. So let's check it out real quick and let's just get a visual. So this right here is your TLR-1 HL Streamlight 1000 Lumen light. Let's take a real deep dive and look at it real quick. This is what you're looking at right now. Okay, has the paddle shifter right there in the back. Access your light modes. This one right here, that's the look of it right here. And I'm sure just you looking at it can see some of the differences, but I'm going to point out some of the smaller differences that these lights have right here. So let's go ahead and start here. You have your TLR-1 HL light. Okay, yes, they do look similar, but they have differences. So let's start off with this right here. Starting out is this bigger bolt screw. You can see right here that this screw is totally different from this screw right here. Not only that, when you use a flathead screwdriver and you turn it left or right, well, I don't have my flathead in there, but when you do turn it left or right, this one doesn't scar up as much. So you don't get a lot of chip paint with that. On this one right here, you do get the chip paint. That's a minor issue for me. It's not a big deal. You can use a black marker and cover that back up. But that's the two differences right there, just alone with that screw. Not only that, watch this. The spring in this screw right here, when you press down on it, it's a lot tighter. You could tell it's a better quality, tighter spring. So when you put it on your flashlight, and then you want to open it up or close it down, that's just a tighter spring. On this one right here, it is a lighter spring. You can clearly feel the differences between those two. Okay, that's another difference right there. Let's keep looking right here. Right here, you do see a silver, looks like a silver bar that's in the inside right here, probably holding some of these things together right there. You don't have that on this TLR-1 HL. You don't have that at all on there, okay? That's another difference. Let's keep looking here. I told you I'm looking at the minute differences. Right here on this TLR-1 HL, you see how thick those areas are right there that wrap around the flashlight. Just this area right here, and I'm talking about these areas right here, how thick those are. Pay attention to that. Look at this one. It's a lot thinner. You see that? That's another difference, guys. Yeah, that's another difference. So that's it right there. Even though it's minute, it's still another difference with the flashlight. Let's keep going here. You can clearly see on this flashlight right here, it has a sectional area that's not attached to the base of the flashlight. So you can see it right there. So what I'm talking about is that area right there, that seam right there. And it's all one little piece in that area. You can clearly see that. On this flashlight, it's not. It's all connected to the base of the flashlight. So it doesn't have that little sectional area on the flashlight. Now let's look at the clarity of the lens. And to me, the lens almost looks exactly the same. So these right here almost damn near, you know, look identical somewhat. And I don't know if you can pay attention, but in the inside of this TLR, it has a frosty area right here that circles all the way around the rim area of the flashlight. And it's right there. You can see it kind of frosty down in there. This doesn't have it on this flashlight. It's just clear. And you can see it in that ringed area. it's clear. So that's another one of the differences. Another difference, of course, which is clearly obvious, is the fonts. So you have the white fonts right there on the TLR, the Streamlight, and on here you don't have any fonts at all. Check that out. No fonts at all on this one. And I think, to be honest with you, a lot of people just don't like the white fonts anymore. They don't like it, guys. I'm telling you right now. If you're listening and if you're a manufacturer or a brand, a lot of people don't like the white fonts. They like the dark, engraved fonts. You could do it that way, but they wanted dark color. And so the black right here doesn't bother me at all. If you look a little bit closer, you can clearly see that this gotta be made out of a different material. And I'm gonna come closer so you can see it, but it has a very kind of like how carbon fiber looks. It has that type of look, and you can see it. I'm glad that my light is picking it up in the material of the flashlight. This doesn't have that, unless that's just a paint job on it, but this doesn't have that at all. So that's clearly another difference. Let's go ahead and look at the key adapter. So in here, not gonna lie, the key adapters pretty damn much look the same. A tad bit different on the Streamlight. You can see that filled in area on that little small square area, and right there it's a little bit more exposed, but that's it. So that looks pretty close, okay? And just even the build structure of the inside of the flashlight here and here, you can clearly see the differences in that. Now let's go ahead and open up. You just flip it up right here, push back on that, and then you should be able to push up on that, and it exposes your battery area right here, okay? So that's it. Let's go ahead and look at the Braun light, see if it does the same thing, and it does. Now, that one just opened a whole lot easier than this one did. Now, let's look at the springs for the battery. You can clearly see there's another difference. So right here, you have silver springs. They feel pretty tight. On this one right here, you have yellow springs, and they feel tight. So I'm going to say that those are pretty equivalent when it comes to that. So you got, the gold color here, and then you have that silver color right there. Let's look at the batteries and see if they take the same batteries, and sure they do. So you have a lithium battery right here, which is a CR123A battery. And out of this one right here, it looks like you have a Streamlight, and of course it's a 3-volt, and it's the same thing, the CR123A battery inside these flashlights. Let's continue looking here. Right here in the hinged area down in there, it looks like it's pretty much the damn same, as I can see right there. So that does look very, very similar in that area. Let's go ahead and close it up. So these are kind of weird when they close up. You got to push down on it and then go like that. Same thing applies here. They just weird. Up like that and then close it. Okay, now let's look at this area right here. On the actual packaging of the Braun, I didn't see any area on here that clearly talked about, it being waterproof or water resistant. Now, I did find online that people had did torture tests and put these things underwater forever, and the damn flashlight was still working. So that's the best I could tell you. Look online when it comes to that. And of course, I think the reason being is because you do have this ring right here. So you have a rubberized ring that wraps all the way around the whole flashlight. And that's not only there, that's also on this Streamlight. So you have that rubberized ring right here that stretches all the way around the flashlight. So that's the exact same thing. So from what I've seen online, these things are freaking holding up to inclement weather and just being dropped, in meters of water and still surviving. And guess what? I'm not done. So let's look at the paddle back here towards the back. You can clearly see that they look almost the same, but guess what? They're not. I'm telling y'all, these lights are not the same. So right here on the Braun light, you can see how big the screw is in that area. That screw is larger. You can clearly see that. And then right here on the TLR-1 HL, that screw is a lot smaller. So let's go ahead and compare. There you go. So you can clearly see that there is a difference in those screws. Okay, let's go ahead, turn it on, look at the brightness real quick. So boom, this is the Braun light right here. That's your Braun light. That's how bright it is. And of course, I'm gonna try to get y'all some outside footage. later in the video of how bright they are outside at night, but that's it. And also in the inside, but that's it right there. So that's how bright it is. I'll go ahead and shine it this way so you can see it, and I'll also shine it that way so you can see it. So, I mean, this damn thing is bright. That's it right there. Now let's go ahead, turn it the other way. And then you have to manually, you know, turn the light on manually. And then there goes your strobe mode. So if you double click, boom, boom, that's your strobe. Now look at the rhythm. Look at how fast that's actually pulsating right there. Okay, that's it right there. Boom, that's the light. That's your Braun. Now I do feel a little bit of heat emitting from this, but it's not nothing to really bother you from the touch. So that's it right there. That's the light. Let's try this Streamlight. So there we go right there. That's how bright that is. Let's go right here. That's how bright it is in this area right here. Okay, I'll come back up so you can see it this way. And then I'll also come back up so you can see it that way. Now let's play with it. Okay. Now let's do strobe mode. That's it. That's your strobe. Let's try it again, double tap. That's your strobe mode right there. Now let's compare the strobe mode and see if something is off, because sometimes in strobe mode with different lights, they can be erratic and they won't pulsate correctly. So, okay, let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna try to hold these side by side. So, okay, boom, boom. That's it. The Braun is at the top. Which one is pulsating better? The Streamlight is at the bottom. Let's do it again. Boom, boom. And that's what you're getting. So it does look like the Streamlight is pulsating at a rate that's better. You know, it looks like it's a whole lot better. The other one looks like it's off just a tad bit, but the Streamlight does look better. That's another difference. Let's look at the other side. So we've been focusing on this side of the flashlights for quite some time. Let's look on this side of the flashlight. And of course, you can see the differences right there. So that's it. They look pretty close, pretty much the same, but they're not. You can see it, guys. You can clearly see it. And I just spotted something else. You know, I just spotted something else right here. When you look at kind of like, I guess you would call them serrations in the paddle shifter right here on the TLR-1HL, they're a lot thinner in that area right there. If you look right here in the Braun, they're wider. Okay, you can clearly see that. Now let's go ahead and see what you get in the packaging with the Braun lights. So this is the package from when I purchased it before. So when they had this ring right here that they had the issue with, that they claimed that they copied, okay, this one is no longer for sale. You won't find these unless you buy them from somebody, which it means it's gonna probably go up in value. I love this flashlight right here. Has a silver ring right there. This is the package that all came with. So they give you key adapters right here to be able to change out so it can fit on the railing of different model lights. So you get a lot of them right here. So right there, you get your 1913 key adapter. Right here, you get another one. It looks like, I can't tell what that says, but y'all let me know in the comment section below. I think it says 92 or something like that. That's it right there. This one says P320. Okay, and this one right here, it says, man, my eyes is bad. Let's see. It says something about TSW / something. I can't see it, but that's it. Those are the keys that you get that come along with it. You get your tools. You also get an extra screw right here. And that extra screw is to replace this screw if this screw right here ever gets damaged. So they give you 2 of those in the package, and then you get your nuts inside that package also. So this is the old package. Now let's look at the new packaging that they have for the new light. All right, so this is the new light. I didn't want to open this up until the video right here. I'm gonna end up putting this probably on my RXM because I saw it online and it looks so good. So of course you have your key adapters right there. All of them are right there and they're the exact same one. So you don't get anything different. Let's go ahead and take this light out though and see what it's about. All right, so it looks like you do get the same thing. You get your screws right here to replace this screw if it ever becomes stripped or damaged. You get a little tool, and you also get your nuts in there too. So they give you the same stuff. And here it is. This is the light. And you can see right here where they took away that silver strip all the way around the flashlight. That's no longer there. It literally looks like everything else is the same. This is the model that they had in the lawsuit situation right here. This is the new one that you'll find in the store. So let's look at it and see if it's any differences. I don't see any differences. Check that out. No differences there. No differences right here. Okay. No differences in the screw other than when I use my flathead, it kind of scratched it up, and I'm sure that one is going to do the same thing. Silver screw right there. Same stuff, guys. Nothing different. The bottom of it, absolutely nothing different. Let's look at the back of it. Nothing different at all. Looks like the screw is exactly the same in the back. Wow. Let's look at this side. Same thing. No different, man. I mean, even your rubber right here, no different. Let's go ahead and crack this boy open and see if we see any differences in the inside. Let's do this. And guess what? There's no differences. It's the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and close it back up. Oops. Okay, there you go. Let's put this one back on. That's it. So I know you want me to go ahead and turn the light on. There you go. That's the light shining here. Right there. Do it towards the light. And this is the new one, guys. I'll do it towards the light here. Let's look at strobe mode. That's your strobe mode. That's it for that right there. But no differences. So the only difference that you're getting, if you're concerned, is the silver ring. Everything else is the same. Everything else is the same. So there you have it. This is it. I have the lineup, and that's special because a lot of people don't have this lineup right here where you can say, you know what, I had the first one that came out, they got in trouble, created this one, and this is the big daddy of them all. But is it really the big daddy? Because price is a big deal now these days, especially with inflation. Prices going up on a lot of things. People want to save money. They just simply do. But at the same time, they don't want crap. They want something that's quality. And so far, these have been pretty good. And to be real with you, I will be getting more of these lights at Harbor Freights. Also, something else I wanted to bring to your attention, the Braun lineup is not just the name of this flashlight. So Braun actually has a lot of tactical flashlights and different tools that they have at the Harbor Freight store. And it tells you right here on the back of it that Braun is a trademark of Harbor Freight tools. All other brands and trade names are the property of their respective owners. So that's it. So I felt like I gave you all a thorough review. I mean, I did pretty much a lot of things here. We talked about, you know, some of the historic things that happened with this light, and also a comparison, cross comparison of all three lights. Oh yeah, and before we go, I just want to show you some of the specs that this light has, okay? So you see that it says that it has 1,000 lumens, 1 hour, 30 minutes. It looks like, I guess that's the run time. And then it says 850 feet right there. It tells you about some modes, the strobe mode that it has right here. Low profile, compact design, which it is very sleek. I like it a lot. And right here it does say high temperature, shock mounted, impact resistant, and Boro float glass lens. Right there, but it does not mention, I notice, anything about the water resistant, but clearly it has it because of the other videos I've seen online. On top of that, it says right here, drop proof up to 5 feet for durability. Here we go. So now we're gonna test out the two lights right here. I have the TLR-1 HL on the left. I have the Braun on the right, and they're both 1,000 lumens. Let's see how different they are, if they have a color difference. And also let's see if the hot spots are different, wider, smaller, brighter. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the lights on just so you can see what position it's in. So the left is the TLR, the right is the Braun. So here we go. On the left, let's start with the TLR. That's what it looks like, okay? That's how bright that hotspot is in the middle, okay? And you can see the halo around it right there, and I'm gonna move it in different directions. I'm also gonna turn the strobe mode on real quick just so you can see that. And that may disorient you, but that's just what it is. So now I'm gonna turn it right back on. That's it for that light, okay? That is your Streamlight right here. All right, pretty impressive, 1,000 lumens. Now let's see the difference. Let's try the Braun out right here. So this is the Braun right here. Let's go ahead and put it in the same position. And that's what you get. That's your hotspot right there. Let's move it around. See how much coverage it has in my hallway, one of my hallways here. And then that's your halo right there with that, okay? Now let's do strobe mode. That's your strobe mode. That's what it looks like. All right, now what I'm gonna do is shine each one at the same time and show you the differences between the two. So remember, the TLR is on the left, the Braun is on the right. Here we go. All right. Here we go, the TLR right there, shining. Then the Braun is shining. So the left is the TLR. Now I'll get it a little bit closer to the ceiling, that way you can really see it. So look at that. You can see on the right, the Braun is a tad bit brighter, but it has like a whitish, very, very subtle blue hue to it on the right. And then on the left, your TLR has like a yellow hue to it. So that's what it looks like right there. Pretty impressive. The Braun is brighter. You can clearly see that. And I have new batteries in both, and the lenses are completely clean. All right, that's it right there. Let's shine them around. Same position. That's it. That's what it looks like, guys. So now let's switch positions. All right, right here you have the Braun on the left now. And on the right, you have the TLR. And there it goes once again. The Braun is on the left. You can see the color difference. And then on the right, you have your TLR. And that's it. That's what you're getting. Those are the differences. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn them off real quick. I'll turn off the TLR, which is this one right here. Go ahead and turn it off. And then I'm gonna turn off the Braun right here. This is the Braun. Amazing light, man. For the price, you just can't beat it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about this one. All right, so it's time to wrap it up. A lot of important information. A lot of people online are very passionate about this situation, about what's going on, because we almost seriously lost the Braun light. But thank God Harbor Freight was able to work things out and give us this light. They were able to give us this light without the silver ring. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Are you still gonna rock with the Streamlight True and Tried TLR-1 HL, or are you gonna go with the Braun 1000 Lumen light, which again, this light right here, you're looking at $49.99. Yep, $49.99 for this light right here. And this light right here is gonna run you right now, when it's being on sale, probably about $130-ish, $140-ish, sometimes higher than that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification bell so when I roll out the latest videos, you'll be able to receive them. And remember,
I'm not from this planet.